My interest, I was former councilwoman for this district, city rather, for 3 years, stopped in '09. And so I'm a community person, to be completely honest. That's what I do. I'm interested in the whole community, and so I'm always out there doing whatever I can do to make things possible better in our community. Children are my interest because I have an after-school youth facility, form of social work. And so, again, it's just community involved. So whatever's going on in the community, I'm out there. And you call me active, you can call me anything you want to choose, it doesn't matter, but that's what I do. And I also am interested in my city in which I live. I'm not totally satisfied. Always, it's something to do with politics. And so I can stand here and truthfully say that. I'm not totally interested in how they operate. The voting system, you know, and all of the other things that goes with it. And I hope that this thing that's opening up to the public right now, some of this stuff will change. I recall when I was involved into becoming a councilwoman, everything was coming up from the computer to my desk with legislator, you know. And I tried to get some letters out to the current legislators at the time. I didn't receive any answers, so I didn't expect to receive any answers, so I wasn't disappointed. At the same time, until things like that are straightened up and put into order, we're going to always be in a position where we have problems. And I hope that your new panel or whomever will do something about the system, you know. And when you go out to vote, you become accustomed to the people in which you're going to vote for because you already know everyone. I know every one of them, from Truman Chapin and family and all of them. You know, they're just people that you know every day. And so I've worked well with them, and I appreciate what they've done. The mayor and myself got along well together. And he said a lot of you get along with me. But personally and truthfully, I hope for changes for the young people that's graduating from school, no jobs available, no place to go but away from home. Once they leave home, that's it. And this is why the population begins to drop. And I expect it to continue to drop. And I just hope for a better future for the young people in the state of West Virginia.
Well, it's a pleasure to be in Williamson, in West Virginia's youngest county, Mingo, which has only been a county since 1895. I must say it's easier to travel from my hometown in South Charleston than it used to be. I had to come down to Williamson back around 1979 or 80 to do a title search, and it involves, there's a connection to the state Senate, so I've got to tell you the story briefly. I had to come down to find out who owned a bridge in Williamson because the Department of Highways was going to build a new bridge and tear that one down. But first we had to figure out who owned it. Well, the story was this. The deed to the bridge from the Williamson family said that there was a requirement that the sign have the name of the bridge. It was have the name that was supposed to be the name of the bridge, and if that fell off, then the title would revert to the owners. The name on the sign was either M.Z. White Memorial Bridge or M.Z. White Bridge. Now, you senators, how many of you all know who M.Z. White was? The last Republican president of the state Senate, and he was from Williamson. And so when I did my title search, I found, and I talked to people in Williamson, they said that the sign had fallen off. So I said, well, then the property reverted back to the Williamson family. I don't know what the Department of Highways did with my recommendations. I figured they tore down the bridge and built the new bridge. But there was a Republican Senate president from Williamson. And you Democrats, I'm a Democrat, you better keep on your toes. It might happen again. And I also have affection for, I do this as a hobby. I've been fighting for single-member districts and for equal representation for 30 years. One of the few times I ever got paid, the Mingo County Commission hired me in 1984 to redistrict their magisterial districts. Don't know if they implemented what I recommended, but they did pay me, which was nice. But I wanted to try to show you, just kind of give you a brief I don't want to discuss the House of Delegates things. I'm for single-member districts, and I'm going to work on plans for the whole state for single-member districts. I've already mentioned that in other meetings, but I'm not going to focus on that. I've also submitted some congressional district proposals, and I'll submit some more. But I want to focus on where we're standing. When I was 10 years old, a guy named John F. Kennedy came to West Virginia and ran for president. So let's turn the clock back 50 years and see, let's compare the populations of 4 counties down here and 5 counties up where Senator Unger lives. In 1960, Logan had 61,570. McDowell had 71,359. Mingo had 39,742. Wyoming had 34,836. That was 207,507 people lived there 50 years ago. Berkeley County then had 33,791. Hampshire had 11,705. Jefferson had 18,665. Morgan had 8,376. Hardy 9,308 for a total of those 5 counties of 81,845. At that time, according to my research, you had 4 senators from those 4 southern counties, and you had 2 senators in those 5 eastern counties. Now, we are in 2011. We have the figures from the 2010 census. In those 4 counties, Logan, McDowell, Mingo, and Wyoming, the total that was 207,507 is now 109,491, which is very close to just, right on the mark in terms of how you would put a district together. On the other hand, Berkeley, Hampshire, Jefferson, Morgan, and Hardy, which had 81,845, now have 213,197. So that would be what I would recommend. We end up with 2 senatorial districts in that area. In simple math, the logical thing is to put Logan, McDowell, Mingo, and Wyoming together. And that may not be politically popular, but the state constitution, in addition to what Mr. Allred said, the state constitution requires that you approach numerical perfection in redistricting of Senate districts. But what the state constitution also says, you couldn't cross county lines. What I've tried to do is, to the extent you can come up with districts, is to hit that 109,000 mark if you don't, without crossing state lines, and where you do, county lines, but where you do have to cross county lines, then to make the districts as equal as possible. Back in 1960, McDowell and Mingo were 1 senatorial district, and that would make sense if today there were still 71,359 people in McDowell and 39,742. I would say leave them as a 2-county district, but the population's dropped. So the biggest loss is on this end of the state, and the biggest gain is in terms of populations on Senator Unger's state. So my recommendation is you put those 4 senators, those 4 counties together and make them a new senatorial district. Thank you.